when will you meet your future spouse? That's today's reading. So before we even start pulling cards, I want to say something important. This is not about throwing out random dates or, making up stuff. This isn't about like it'll happen when it happens. This is about when things appear to be aligned, about where you guys are right now in your life and what changes happen. For some of you, you may have already even met them. And for others, that path has yet to be crossed, but the timing is forming. So the key here isn't just when, it's what's happening around that moment. Because timing doesn't exist when you're isolating yourself. It exists when you're ready and when you're growing and into the life phase that you're stepping into. So as we look at these cards, don't just think about a calendar date. Think about where you're at in your life right now and if that aligns with what we're seeing. Are you transitioning? Are you closing something out? Are you expanding? Are you about to change environments? That all matters. So take a breath and choose the pile that you feel most drawn to. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. So of course we're going to start with pile 1. So let's get into it. Pile 1, the crossing paths energy. Let's see. Closer than you think, I feel. So if you chose this pile, I need you to lean in a little bit. Because this isn't just like a 5-year from now story. This is like it's not wait until you become someone else message. This feels close and like soon. So I'm going to explain exactly what that means. Okay, so the first thing coming through is this. You may have already met this person, not necessarily dated them, but definitely met them. So you've definitely crossed paths with them, yes. This feels like someone already in your life. Work, friend group, family friend, gym, online friend that never really fully developed. Someone who is like quiet around the edges, but also rough. And this timeline's like within a few months, not years. For most of you, this sort of activates like within 3 to 6 months. And for some of you, it's like even sooner, 1 to 3 months. But it depends on one thing. Do you see that? A change, not in them, in you. Stop being so guarded here. See that? This pile feels like someone being activated. So the energy here shows that you guys are already connected, but one of you need to show up differently. Like you're entertaining shitty behavior. You're entertaining inconsistency and like trying to keep reviving something that is leaving. Like I feel like this is a relationship that you need to end before they can step forward. And then you'll notice them differently. See that? Yeah, so this isn't like a stranger flying in from another country or something. This is someone who's been sort of like adjacent, like in the background. And they've just been waiting till you're ready. Not for perfection. And I'm seeing something specific here. So the tower here is you're either finishing up a relationship or accepting that where you're at isn't going anywhere and you're going to make a change. Or this is detaching from someone that you've been mentally holding on to. So when that mental court sort of releases, that back and forth releases, that's when this person comes in within like months of that change, not years later. So it's based on when you make the change, and it could be a Sagittarius coming your way. This doesn't feel like a dramatic first time meeting. It just feels like you guys are getting deeper, like getting to know each other more. And you might notice this about them. They're going to start lingering in conversations, showing up more places, asking more personal questions, communicating more. See that? Creating opportunities to be hanging out with you. And if you're wondering if you've ever met them, this is your sign. Do you feel safe around them? Not anxious? Not trying to impress? Is there anyone that you can feel chill about? Like you're just chill and steady? This is them. Because this person doesn't like spike that cortisol in you. And that is part of why it hasn't really registered as like a future spouse energy yet. Because this doesn't feel chaotic. It feels calm, cool, collected. Timing wise, I'm getting like, within like 6 months, as soon as someone stops being so guarded. So for some of you, it's before the summer. For others, before the end of the year, before the end of this year, but not beyond 12 months. Like if you're thinking, I haven't met anyone like that ever, then just chill. Because like this could also be someone you've briefly met before. Here's Virgo energy popping up. It could be like a message or an event where you guys like, I don't know. It'd be like after you say no to an event or something. Or if you choose yourself in a visible way, you know, and you make a decision that closes a chapter, that's going to be when they show up. This is something going to be, so you have to pretty much make space in your life for this person to come in. So you're not, let's be clear about something. You're not waiting for them to be ready. You're aligning to a version of yourself that like no longer entertains what isn't working for you anymore. And that's when this person steps in. Capricorn energy here. There's a groundedness here. Like this relationship doesn't start explosively. It starts intentionally. Conversations get longer. Plans become consistent and they move consistently, steadily, not being like erratic. If you've been craving fireworks or intensity, this probably isn't like your thing because this is like chill. So this pile doesn't feel like this pile doesn't feel like you need to work on yourself for 2 more years. This feels like you're already in the hallway of meeting this person or, you know, seeing this person for what they are. There's one more emotional decision. Like, watch those next 3 months closely. Who shows up consistently without you having to chase? Okay? Because you're not that far, but it's someone's already there and they're consistent. Follow us to pile 2. We'll meet you there. Bye. Pile 2, welcome. So if you chose this pile, I need to start here. You have not met your future spouse yet. That's not a delay. This is divine guidance. So there's one more connection that's before them right now, and then they meet you. So that's important to know. So let's see here. What I'm feeling, transitional energy. This is Leo. This isn't stagnant, like not stuck. Transitional. Like this person is in a space between who you were and who you are about to be while you're committed, or them. There's someone coming towards you that feels close enough to taste like, to feel like permanent. Like this is also Capricorn here. This is going to happen within the next 6 to 12 months, it feels like. So it feels more like, well, some people's like 6 to 8 as well, but it's not years. So it's not like the final person here. And this person's going to teach you one core thing, that you can't build a lifetime on hopes and dreams. There's going to be compatibility, Virgo right here. There may even be shared goals between you two. Taurus here. But something's going to feel misaligned with you guys. It's weird. Oh my God. And Aries, you guys have so many major arcanas already. Something's going to feel incomplete with you guys. 2 of Swords here. You're going to start noticing that you're over-explaining your needs. And you're like, is this really for me? Why am I adjusting myself so much? This isn't like punishment. This is just sort of, it's a Scorpio here. Because when this situation you're in ends, and it will end, you're going to be so much clearer about what you want and all the shit you're going to handle. You're going to know that this other person that comes into your life is the one. There's going to be like a short period where you're single though. Like I said, 2 to 3 months-ish. Others, 6 months maybe. See this? That's your Tower moment. This is where your readiness locks in though here. The 4 of Pentacles. So I want to just be specific about what that looks like. So this isn't about you being like perfectly healed. 2 of Pentacles. You're not being detached. You're not swearing away love, you know? You're just not chasing half love anymore. 7 of Wands. You're going to stop entertaining inconsistencies. You're going to stop entertaining like love crumbs. 5 of Cups. You're going to stop trying to convince someone to love you the way you want to be loved. 6 of Pentacles and the World here. So once that boundary is set in stone, your spouse energy will enter, because the meeting window for your actual future spouse is within 12 to 18 months from now. For some sooner, obviously, but like it's just it's dependent on if the connection happens sooner, because you need to make that switch up. King of Swords. Yeah, you need to get that lesson learned first, you guys. This is connected to when you stop taking crumbs, like I said. So here's the thing, though. It's important. You're going to recognize your spouse because it's going to feel like super calm, and it's not going to be boring, just calm. 3 of Swords. This isn't emotional guessing games. This is no drama. There's no performance. There's no you wondering, where do I stand? Is this going to be another 10 of Swords? 10 of Swords is like up all night getting stabbed in the back. The big emotional marker that you're ready and that they're the one is this. You don't feel like you're performing, like you're auditioning. With the almost guy, you're going to feel like you're trying to secure it, like you're trying to keep them entertained. But with your future spouse, you won't. Many of you, look at that, will meet them after something huge in your life changes. Changing jobs, moving neighborhoods, deciding that you're done with the ex. After turning down someone that you previously would have chased. Could even be them. There's a decision point that activates the meeting, you know, and know that you have not crossed paths with them yet. This energy here is future forward. When you meet them, you're going to feel like your nervous system isn't bracing, it's chill. That's how you're going to know. That's how you're going to know your lesson is complete. So your standards are needing to be raised here, pal, too. 5 of Swords. So when permanence shows up, aka your future spouse, you're not going to second guess it. So let's just do a little recap here. So there's going to be a meaningful dating connection within 6 to 12 months. So 2 to 6 months after that, you're going to have like a closure on your ex. Future spouse comes in 12 to 18 months by then. And this is going to be when you get your self-respect back. So as soon as you put yourself first, and you're way closer to this person than you think, not because you're being rushed by the universe, but because you're almost done tolerating and accepting what's not meant to stay. Follow us into pile 3. Maybe we can get some overlapping energy for you. We'll see you there. Bye. All right, so pile 3, welcome in. If you chose this pile, this card, this is a meeting that does not happen in your current environment. You have not met this person yet. And the reason isn't some crazy thing. It's logistical. Look at that. Okay. King of Cups. So this connection is tied to like a physical, something in your life, like a move, a job change. See that? New beginning, new social circle, lifestyle adjustment, High Priestess. And the change is going to affect where you spend your time. So right now, obviously you're on a certain track. You go to the same place. You go to the same people. You drop inside of like, I don't know, the same places all the time. And your future spouse doesn't exist there. They enter your life after you change your path, your hangouts. This is Taurus. Okay, so very clearly your meeting window is in 1 to 2 years, closer to 12 months though. King of Pentacles. But it's conditional. Not conditional in like a punishing way, but in like a cause and effect way. Now let me explain. There's a growth milestone that someone needs to do first. So just bear with me. Let's see here. Okay, so before this person enters, you need to outgrow something, like a job, internal conflict, a city that feels too small for you, bad habits, Capricorn, a friend group that no longer fits, Aquarius. Your routine becomes survival based instead of like overextending yourself based. And you were meant to feel this discomfort first because that discomfort pushes you to make this move. So for some of you, this is literally a move. New home, new neighborhood, new city, new country. But for others, it's like a pivot of a job. And like you're physically going to spend time somewhere else. Okay, so it's going to happen in a physical space. This is Scorpio here. This isn't, like I said, it's not the same people. You got to find new people, go to new events. Yeah. I want to be specific about timing here. So I see 3 primary windows. 1, within 6 to 9 months after the switch up in your life. 2, between 12 and 18 months from now, if you're already making that change I'm talking about. Or 3, within 2 years of this change, if you haven't started it yet. Notice how like the clock doesn't really start until you make the switch up. That's what I mean when I said like aligned at the beginning. The moon, okay. This is Pisces. So there's also like an emotional marker that you need to fulfill. So you have to stop romanticizing people in your head and just become clear about what you're not going to tolerate. And then they'll come in. So there's one more thing. So, after that one thing that happens, that 3 of Swords that happens, you're going to operate like very differently. You're not going to chase people. You're not going to over-explain. You're not going to try and be chosen. You're going to be just like, this is me. Accept it. I was screwed over before and I'm not doing it again. That's what it feels like. Ooh. So I'm seeing this meeting happening in a setting that like where you go there to grow. So like professional space, school, community, like school, community class, fitness, like somewhere where you're bettering yourself. A new group of friends, like where someone meets you of a friend of them. And then it just grows from there. This isn't like a bar or like drunken chaos. Like you guys are going to be sober. This is going to be daytime. structured life. Yeah, Ace of Swords. It's going to be when you're in a good place, though, not when you're in a negative place. When you meet them, it's not going to feel like, fireworks. It's going to feel calm, chill, mutual, grounded. The recognition is going to build over weeks, not like hours. So timing wise, once you guys meet, it's going to be about 6 to 12 months of knowing each other. Got Leo here too. This isn't like a 10-year game, 10-year plan or something. This is pacing, obviously. Divine timing, if you will. Whoa. Okay, so let me make this clear. You have not met them yet. You're going to meet them once your environment changes. Page of Swords. So most likely it's 1 to 2 years. But usually, if you can sort of become self-aware, it'll happen within 5 to 6 months. Standards before finding a spouse. Like, set those standards before finding a new spouse. 4 of Pentacles. And when that positioning is complete, like when you're sitting pretty and, in that spot, that's when people will come towards you. 7 of Cups. Your life is physically going to expand. That's your alignment. That's your timing. And that's pile 3. Meet us in pile 4 to see if any messages overlap for you. We'll see you there. Bye. Pile 4, welcome. If you chose this pile, we are not looking at an immediate whirlwind here. Like, this is durability, sustainable. And I need you to hear that clearly before we even talk timing, because this feels like this isn't like you missed it. It's not like this is very specific. Feels rigid. This connection comes in when you're no longer in survival mode. I feel like you're dealing with something right now. This is like 4 years. This is like 2 to 4 years. Not 6 months, not next season, like 2 years minimum. But honestly, I'm getting that number 4 as well. And that timeline isn't like empty space. Between that, you're like doing construction on yourself. You're still stabilizing something super major during then, like maybe your career, your school, or like a bad relationship you're currently in. Someone's physically relocating here too. This spouse doesn't really enter. They won't come forward when it's chaotic. They're going to come forward when things have settled. It's like a Saturn kind of energy. Just slow, deliberate, have to be like mature. This person might be older than you or just like more emotionally mature. This person doesn't rush. They don't chase intensity. They build. See that? Page of Cups here. Now let's talk. Have you already met them? For about like 70% of you, no, you have not met them. This is Scorpio here. This isn't an ex. This isn't a current situation. This isn't a person that you keep circling back to. This isn't someone you've met. This is someone new. And you're going to meet them in a calm phase of your life, like I said. So I'm seeing like after a move, after a career change, after closing out a deal or like closing out a bad relationship that you're like, I'm not doing that ever again. I'm not tolerating that ever again. So for some of you, that one last relationship happens within like a year and a half. It's not the spouse. It's not the spouse. It's that final lesson. You know what I mean? It teaches you how to be the stable one instead of being codependent. So for those of you that have technically crossed paths already, it would have been like super brief, work-related mutual event. It was not significant. Like it was just passing by. And at the time, nothing sparked because you guys were not in the energetic season. You guys weren't meant to meet at that time. But this connection activates later, not because it was hidden or anything, just because you weren't ready to recognize it. You guys might find out you went to the same like concert and didn't see each other though. Like, you're going to meet this person when you stop entertaining emotionally unavailable assholes. You know what I mean? Like, you're no longer, this is Leo, trying to prove your worth in relationships. So your life will feel organized when you get rid of them, the dead weight. This is important. You're going to feel super bored at first with this person. Not in a bad way, sort of like in a peaceful way, because you're going to question it. You're going to be like, but is it what I need? Because it's so boring and nothing's happening, you know? And because you're not going to feel like you're about to lose them and stuff. You're going to feel like, is this worth it? Like, some of us are so used to the toxic energy. So let's talk timing. If you're currently in your early 20s, closer to 3 or 4 years for you. If you're in your late 20s to early 30s, 2 to 3 years. Mid 30s and up, closer to 18 months, like 1.5 to 2.5 years. And again, conditional. So if you accelerate your healing and end that current relationship, that timeline shortens. And if you keep repeating one more lesson over and over, it's going to keep extending, but it doesn't disappear. This is a spouse energy that waits for you to mature, like readiness, you know? This person most likely will enter during a work collab, through like a professional introduction, through a secondhand introduction with friends. Something tied to a responsibility, like not partying, not chaos. I'm seeing like offices and conferences, real estate, finance, education, long-term projects. Like, this person's already building a life, and you meet when your life feels steady enough. The Sun, not because you're trying to find someone out of lack. This is going to take longer than you expected, but it is stable in the way that your past has never been before. There's no dramatic entry from them, and there's no like emotional roller coaster. It's just consistency, and you're going to recognize it because you're going to feel safe, and you're going to feel chosen, and you're going to feel calm. And that calmness is the confirmation that this isn't rushed. This is, like I said, constructed love. You have to work on yourself, and it's going to be late. It's going to take forever, but it's going to be lasting. And once it begins, it doesn't shake. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye.